You guys for coming in person. I'm Noble. I'm not sure if we met yet. Annette. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, the hat, winter wear. I'm a summer guy. Less clothing, the better, you know? All right, here we go. 6:35. Meeting's called to order. All right, we'll do that. We'll get live, so you got two. All right, well, welcome. To give you guys an update of the last meeting that we had. Cause yeah, I haven't seen y'all in a couple months, I think, right?
It's been a minute.
Months moved really quickly. Well, we approved our fourth legal marijuana dispensary in the neighborhood. Excite Unlimited, I don't know if that's gonna be the name of the business, but it's going up down there near Cigar, the cigar room and the gaming place on Broadway
Yeah.
near Locksmith.
Yep.
So they're going up there, got that through that past last general meeting. In this meeting, I just moved to letter C here, was basically to be discussing the educational efforts. I know Carmen wanted to have this conversation, but I think she's gonna be just a little bit late. I'm not really sure, but we'll find out. But in those educational efforts, we had two objectives. One, I mentioned your 420 Fest, unless there's a different name for it, let me know. We mentioned your 420 Fest as a possible place for us to have a table, talk to people that are there. We will certainly be there with all of our signage and stuff. We can talk a little bit more about that too. And then what you have to come and offer, and we'll definitely get you at the general board meeting to present. And I'm not sure what that works, but how long would you want? I think usually it's like between 2 and 5 minutes.
Oh, that's enough time.
That's enough time? Cool, so we'll make sure that happens at the March general meeting, if that's cool. We'll give enough time to make the presentation and stuff, and then maybe come back around and show us in March.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about some of the things now. Do you have any business you wanna bring up in front of the task force?
I did actually.
Shoot, we can add it to the agenda.
So my name's Annette Fernandez. I founded High Exposure Agency.
Activist, I remember day
I'm a
one.
community activist, and I'm born and raised here in town. And my agency received a tentative RFP award through the city. So we're working on a festival uptown.
Okay.
A family-friendly festival uniting cannabis, creativity, and commerce.
Ooh.
And the date is 5/17.
Okay. Plenty of time.
So we have a lot of time, and we are identifying two quick spaces that we want, which are either outside of United Palace or by the Dyckman Plaza.
Okay. Well, if you get any
And as a
pushback,
matter
then
of
you can let them
fact-
know CD12 is supporting.
As a matter of fact, I already reached out to Vlad because
Yeah.
we wanna work with the dispensaries of town.
Yep.
Bring brands of town, and also just activate for the family.
Cool.
So providing, to your point, education for all ages.
Great spot, great time of year.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. If you have any pushback or anything, which I doubt you'll have with any of these places you're talking to, certainly let me know. CB12 would be there to support. Same thing, we'll bring a table for like just show community support from like what official position we have. Cool. Well, is there anything you need? We'll work our way backwards then in the agenda. We'll start with you and we'll come all the way up then. Give Carmen some time to get here for the 420 talk. But how have conversations been with you and organizing so far? Is there any support we can give to you so far? Is there anything?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're still negotiating the contract and
Okay.
obviously just getting all of our ducks in a row on that end. I'm part of the Uptown People's Project with Carmen de la Rosa's office, so I have
Excellent.
connections there, and I think we can.
Cool.
And then we want to bring in Inwood Merchants Association.
Okay.
NOMA, you know.
Because the commerce piece of it too.
Because I think what this is really focused on is not only removing the stigma, but also really promoting the fact that this is about small business and it is about small business development in community.
Okay.
And so it's gonna take a lot of partnership, whether it's from merchant associations, but also all the different aspects of the community and neighborhood coming together to understand how this is a new economy for Uptown.
Yep.
And this is opportunity in jobs, this is opportunity in innovation. This tax money actually pertains to our community because we're the #1 CDI. So we should be allocated, yes, we're the #1 community disproportionately impacted. And so Washington Heights should start seeing allocations from the $1 billion in sales that we had last year.
Dude, I mean, so many cross-functional purposes for this, which is great, especially since we have, a first to market going in 420, because then we're gonna be able to
it's
keep the
gonna be
tires.
tremendous.
Yeah,
because And that's why I swear, the alignment is here this
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
Like with places like Happy Monkey opening,
Mhm.
Sparkboro, it's important that these are our like models in the community.
Yep.
And I have to say, so far with both of these stores, I'm really happy that these are the folks
Hell yeah, me
representing
too.
us.
Yeah.
Because they're representing us in a way that shows community care and real understanding of the community with having things in English and in Spanish, with ensuring that bartenders are educated.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of good things happening, and I think we need to amplify that back to them.
Well, when you make a save the date, even if
Yeah.
before you have a venue or something,
Yeah.
we could certainly help and promote it by sending out like on our
Amazing.
CB12 newsletter. So I love that. Keep it up. If there's any support more that we can give to you, stop on by general meeting or even the next March meeting and we can figure it out from there. if you have
Yeah,
any-
we'll be here. I'm not, you know.
Good. Yeah, no, I know, for real.
I'm here,
You're in
shoulder
the
to
streets.
shoulder,
I feel
elbow to
it.
elbow.
I just went through the agenda really quickly, just talking about this task force meetings about education. And we kind of just kicked it off for an event in May, a community event around, a family event, obviously around cannabis and normalizing in our neighborhood. Looking at venues right now. Do you have a name for it?
Not yet.
Not yet, all right, name's coming, but I was saying that we can help promote it, any kind of support, because,
For sure.
and we'll get to it, because we're working backwards. The 420 event that Happy Monkey and community friends will be throwing, in our neighborhood. But let's start with Ariel, yeah,
I just wanted to add one more thing,
Please.
because I think this is also really kind of in the same vein of community impact and redirection of city funds and
Mhm.
state funds.
Mhm.
We are including artists in this
multi-sensorial
festival, because
experience.
it's gonna be really important to highlight local artists like Dister, like Art Man Dan,
Yeah,
and other folks that I'm sure have not been tapped into as much, to bring them into this festival too.
Sick.
To have these activations and also showcase our art and our culture of town. That's super important, and bilingual, you know?
I hope you get United Palace Plaza, that would be a really awesome location. for
I
this.
think we've done an event there in that space, and I really
Cool.
liked it too, because it feels.
Yeah, it feels community.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that update. We'll be sure to keep an eye on that and, check in, email us if you need anything
Yeah.
between the meetings. Ariella, why don't you tell us what you've been working on for the last few months?
Yes.
And this will be to set her up for a presentation at our March general meeting.
Oh, March, okay.
Yep,
Yes, which would be great.
yeah.
So we have been working with, so actually, when I say we, so hi, my name is Ariel Sella. And I am coming to you from the CUNY School of Public Health and Health Policy. And so we've been working with the task force on a survey and mapping efforts around community perceptions, attitudes, beliefs around cannabis use in the community, dispensaries, all of that. And so we're now like putting the data together and.
How many respondents did you get?
Report. So of the people that responded, and we got, I believe it was 97 English and 11 Spanish.
Okay, you wanted 100, I think is what it was, right? Didn't you want to go around there?
Yes, but not everybody completed the survey, unfortunately. 55 people completed the survey.
Okay.
Of that.
What does completed mean?
As in answered all the questions, submitted it, because I believe the way that the Qualtrics is set up, you can answer some of the questions. And then like, for example, they might close the window or like they could like stop.
Sure,
where they're
sure. Yeah.
So not all of them were completed, but of the ones that,
I'm
Did-
sorry, were all the questions
Yes.
required or no? Like, can someone press submit without answering some of the questions?
actually, that's a really good question. Let me.
It's in fractional data. we've got
Right, 'cause then I'm
no data at
like-
all. Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah.
Right, because there are some things.
55%, solid enough sample.
Yeah, let me actually make a note of that.
Yeah.
And we could always, I
Did
mean,
do you know people, like, did you hear back from the survey takers if like people were like hesitant to answer a survey
to
on it?
respond.
You know?
It's no,
okay
it was
if
a
not.
rather lengthy survey.
Yeah, I remember seeing it was a
So,
lengthy survey, yeah.
So I feel like it's
Yeah.
possible that people were just like,
Okay.
this is taking a lot longer than I thought.
Sure.
Going, and then didn't complete that. But, what I've been able to look at so
Mhm.
far, what I have been finding that's interesting in regards to people. So a lot of this is gonna be stuff that like we already know, but it's good to have it on paper.
Yeah, totally.
And like, for example, when people are looking at unlicensed dispensaries, a lot of people are reporting that they feel like it's not necessarily economically benefiting the community.
Huh.
And that there are concerns about safety and concerns about like, young people accessing,
Those are the two main ones we get when we get public.
yes. There was a pretty considerable number of people, at least like half of the respondents, who said that they feel like unlicensed dispensaries lead to an increase in crime in the neighborhood. It was kind of split on that,
Unlicensed
but
dispensaries,
unlicensed
huh?
dispensaries.
Okay,
Yeah,
and their crime
Is
in
there a
itself, but
follow-up to that question? Like, is there an option for them to elaborate, like, answer, do you feel this and why, or anything like that, or no? It's just,
I don't remember that
I
on
don't
the
think there
survey
was.
now.
okay.
I think it was just like a straightforward.
Yeah, well, it also gives delineation for us and like the job that we're doing, and that's why I always like repeat ad nauseum legal dispensaries.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay,
yeah, but people do believe, generally, people believe that legalized adult use will be beneficial.
good. So it's like an overall good sentiment.
Yeah,
55% completing the surveys. I remember it being quite lengthy, like, you know, we always say like the 80-20 rule.
Mhm.
But for you, it's 55-45. The super users, the ones that finished it, and therefore that's a
Mhm.
pretty damn good sample of super use, like like people that really have a lot to say about it.
Mhm.
That's good. There's an overall good sentiment. A
Yeah.
lot of things that you said probably won't be known by the general board. So it would be good, and we know this because as you said, like we've been
Yeah.
here and we talk to people and stuff. But the general board probably doesn't understand certain links, so that'd be good for them to hear that.
Yeah, and we will continue building the report.
Cool.
Putting it together and send that to you ahead of time.
More time for respondents,
Yeah.
maybe not between now and the final report, but let's say like even at both of these events, are you still kind of building, like, are you still getting respondents? Or is it closed?
We are not getting respondents now. I
Okay.
think that would like shift the data a little bit because of the time frame.
Sure,
This is
sure.
all-
They've had a lot longer to kind of.
I think
get
it was
used to
July through November.
Right, yep, it was July to
Yeah.
November or something, yeah,
Mhm.
okay, okay.
So, but
Hey, Carl. Carl's the newest member of our task force, folks. You was here last time, but you guys weren't, so wow, connections. We were just talking about this being the education task force conversation. Yeah, no problem. And we had just closed one part of the conversation about an event that will be happening in May. And we'll be getting to the event that will be happening that you might know about now, 420 I mentioned last meeting for Happy Monkey. But we've been going over some of the survey results from a survey that the CUNY School of Health and Human Services.
public health and health policy.
Public Health and Health Policy. They did a survey in our neighborhood last year. You might have heard about it in the general meeting. But basically from July to November, they were taking the public sentiment of legal marijuana in the neighborhood. And she was just sharing some of the results for us. Yeah, some of them we kind of already knew, but I think it'll be new for the general meeting. And then you guys are still in the midst of crunching, I'm assuming, and probably find some more insight.
Yeah, with the mapping, what was interesting, which I mean, probably is straightforward, is that it seems like
Right.
a lot of the unlicensed dispensaries are on more major streets.
Yep.
like Broadway.
Makes sense for
I mean,
business
Yeah, it's also a trend that I feel like happens.
everywhere, yeah. That makes sense.
So,
It'd be interesting to see like where your respondents came from, like the 55, if we could see like, you know, because if the majority of them came from uptown, it might be because we have the majority of dispensaries uptown, more
Yeah.
conversation happens, normalization. Whereas like, it'd be interesting to see what they look like, you know, below 168th for that matter.
mhm.
So if you can find that out, that would be an interesting
Yeah.
tidbit too.
That
So
was in the
geolocation.
demographics part of the study.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Good, okay. Hey, what's up, Leo? Leo's traffic and transportation, licensing,
Hello.
land lease, traffic and transportation.
Alright.
Man's everywhere,
Alright,
nowhere
Paula,
at
can you
once.
share, I'm very curious, so I know you're working with some other community boards or some
Mhm.
other areas. Were those finalized? What were their responses like?
Mm.
Are you seeing that a lot of different areas have like very similar sentiments? Or is it like vastly different? I'm just curious.
That's a good question. It is kind of mixed. So when we, also because I should say that when we did the survey with Blue Board 9, 10, and 11,
Mhm.
we kind of aggregated it in terms of like hard.
Oh, interesting.
And
Got it.
so
Oh, we have
even
a-
the style of
cool.
response was like,
Sure,
was a
sure.
little different. And the way that the Harlem grid is set up also shifted some of the
Sure,
responses.
sure.
In terms of especially like dispensary locations and like Because there was also a question about how far do you live from a dispensary?
What'd you say the time frame was again?
The timeframe for the CD12 survey?
Yeah.
It was July
Yeah, through
twenty
November.
twenty-four to November 2024. Yes.
And it would be interesting in the presentation too, to kind of sprinkle in some of the learnings that you got, either in comparison or in similarity to our folks down south.
Okay.
Cause that could give, you know, a benchmark for the folks in the general board meeting. Cause I will say, like, the dispensary we just put through, you know, a lot of conversations, not necessarily about legal marijuana dispensaries, but more about what kind of ownership we like to see, you know, for our community came up last meeting. And so I feel like, you know, the more information we give about the community around it, will give maybe some more light as to why we have to kind of really chat to a line of objectivity when it comes to opening some of these. Maybe, I don't know, complete this, but this is really good info.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then like even considering the events that are happening, thinking about
Yeah.
how we might want to approach it.
Well, it sounds like we have a pretty good roster of conversation coming, you know, in partnership / support of this board. So we got the 420 event. Well, before that, we've got your survey that's gonna be in March at the general board meeting. 420 event, we'll announce there, you know, do more publicity around that. And then we got your event in May. The bow. That's
Yeah.
good. That's good for conversation. Awesome. Anything else with the survey you'd like to share?
I'm gonna just go back and clarify the points that you
Cool.
all brought up.
All right,
So,
no problem.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yes.
On to the main event. All right, Ramon, tell us what you got cooking for 420, man. So Ramon called me, like 3 weeks ago at this point?
Yes, sir.
Obviously wanted to do this for a while, and I was like, yo, how can we support? So I'll let him tell you what he's doing.
Where is your venue? Sorry.
He's gonna tell you in a second.
Yes. So how you doing? I'm Ramon.
I'm calling.
We're the first dispensary that opened up in Indictment where
Yep.
we call Happy Monkey. And you know, before that, we've done various events throughout the city. And eventually we wanted to do a big bash uptown. So the hopeful venue, because I haven't signed anything yet, the hopeful venue is the Hudson, right? AKA La Marina, blah, blah, but that's the hopeful situation because 420 is more of a celebration where a lot of people like to kind of be outside, they don't necessarily want to be inside. So the Hudson for us is like super ideal, it's super iconic. And Uptown's never seen some sort of celebration like this, right?
Yeah, sure.
So the reason why I reached out is because, yes, we're gonna maintain like, you know, the party part of it, the consumption part of it, and kind of like teach people different activities and activations and stuff.
Mhm.
But how do we get education involved? How do we get the community involved so that they know that this is not necessarily your typical stoner event where it's just a bunch of hippies running around. I know people are scared of that, right? Because that's really what it is. But if you've ever been to a Happy Monkey event, all of our events have been
Oh,
upstairs.
yeah, first class.
None of them have
Absolutely.
been like in the basement somewhere, right? So our stuff is straight up on the up and up. It's why we were going for the Hudson.
Mhm.
So basically, I'm here just to let everybody know that, you know, we're in talks to that, and hopefully by next week, we'll be securing the venue.
What kind of activities do you think about bringing?
So activations, so a lot of these events usually have like table vendors and people trying to sell stuff, you know. Fortunately, we're able to kind of like switch that up and make those into activation tables and not just people trying to sell you stuff. Right?
Cool.
We'll get sponsors involved and legal sponsors and all that stuff, but those tables are the activations. What does that mean? So I'll give you one, right? One will have like someone who's like a rolling table, right? They roll your joints,
Oh,
teach you
cool.
how to roll, whatever it is.
Dude,
right?
this is cool. God, where was that
you
when I
know,
was coming
we'll have
up?
another- Yeah, we'll have another table that we'll call the dab station, right? So, you know, anything about like hash and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right, it concentrates, we kind of teach people.
Education on the formats is an interesting angle. I love that idea.
Absolutely, because then we'll have someone who actually knows how to serve that.
Sure.
And kind of like teach you in the same way, right?
Cool.
If you don't know anything about concentrates, this is the spot, right?
Cool.
So it's just more or less just bringing different ways of consumption, different ways how to do it right. And, you know, the Happy Monkey flair and the Uptown flair, because that's the whole thing. We're from Uptown. So we've been doing these events everywhere else and kind of giving people the Uptown nightlife.
Yep.
You know, a little touch of that everywhere else we've gone. So now we kind of just want to bring it home.
Nice.
Yeah.
Ariessa, I don't know if there's a tablecloth for CUNY, but like, would you want to come and do it with us? Yeah, because that would be really hot, just to, show like, collegiate and also community support.
Yeah, because at the end of the day is what we wanna continue to do, especially uptown
Yeah, yeah.
specifically, right? We wanna continue to show the community that's it, that cannabis is legal, it's here to stay.
Yep.
This is kind of the way to kind of like,
Cool.
this is kind of like their easy path,
Normalizing.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
here's your easy path to kind of learn a thing or two about a thing or two.
Like, promotion wise, do you have any signage or something that we can start to give out?
We're on
yet.
bus stops,
Okay.
and now we're on bus stops.
Yo, legalize cannabis uptown, yo, I love it, very
That's
good.
great.
Yeah.
That's
Good, you guys saw it first than me.
On a Broadway, I think the picture, right?
I haven't seen it.
Will it be like, an evening event?
It'll be an all day event.
All day.
It'll be,
We're 20s all day.
It'll be one day, it'll be one day, so it'll be ideally, right, so I'm giving y'all ideally, right, well, I haven't confirmed anything, but this is all ideal, right, so ideally what it is from 2 to 10, it'll be an all day.
On the weekend.
Yeah, it'll be a Sunday,
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
The actual
Easy.
420, yeah.
yeah,
Oh, nice.
exactly.
Cool. Well, certainly, let us know whenever you do have collateral, same thing, we'll send it
It's gonna be
out.
amazing.
Yeah.
If you wanna speak at the general board meeting in March, give
Okay,
people a heads up, just come
Yeah.
through the public session, let them know about it, I'm
100%.
sure they wanna know about it.
Yeah.
That's March, like end of March, so there's plenty
okay,
of
so
time to
that's
plan if
perfect,
you
yeah,
wanna
no,
do
that's
that.
perfect, I will update you
Sick.
along the way.
And we'll be there, like, I
Yeah.
will definitely be there at 420 behind a CB12 table. Anyone join me that wants to.
I got you, so that's a
Cool.
big deal, right, because me and you spoke about this, right, and I'm already talking to them.
Yep.
So once we kind of like reiterate to them, like, yo,
Cool,
community board 12 is gonna be involved.
absolutely.
CUNY wants to be involved, these are things
Yep.
that secure more of what we've been doing.
Totally.
So,
Good stuff, man. Well, thank you for the report.
absolutely.
Any questions?
Yeah, from a regulatory and
Yes.
policy perspective, are there any problems that you feel could be remedied by regulators? In other words,
100%, so.
your experiences on the streets,
Yeah, so what happens to any other event that we've had, we've always have to designate a space where people can actually consume at it.
Mhm.
Because you can't necessarily just consume everywhere.
Yeah.
Half of it is a park, so it's like there's certain places that we just can't consume, so but that. Again, we're
That's
used to
easy,
that,
yeah.
we've been doing this
Mhm.
for a while now, but other than
And there's no
that,
selling of
that's it.
product, I believe.
No
either.
selling of products,
That's right.
which
There's no selling.
honestly,
Yeah.
we're good with that, because
Yep.
the whole point is to kind of.
Go to Happy
bring
Monkey
people
down
to
the street.
Yeah, that's the whole point, it's like, yo, go purchase something at the store that
Yep.
gets you into the event,
Yep.
that's it, so.
Cool. Hey, how's it going?
Hello.
Are you here for the task force?
Come say hi.
Or come sit up at the table?
Come sit with the brewery.
What's your name for the camera?
Noemi Diaz.
Nice.
Hi,
And you're on a
everyone
couple other committees too, right?
here. Yes.
Awesome. Well, why don't you sign
I'm
in?
in youth and education.
Yeah,
And
sign in
now
right
I
there.
entered the licensing.
In the meantime, Ursula, I have a quick question for you, for someone who asked in the chat. They were curious if you have any data on the percentage of respondents that consume cannabis from the survey.
Whoa, that's a great question.
Pretty sure everybody.
Yo, now I'm a client of a president. All right.
Because that may or may not,
Yeah, let's
people
say-
probably that don't consume.
Yeah, because I think that was in the survey if I remember.
I think it was.
Yeah, that would be a really interesting
I can't
cross
even
section.
remember the survey.
That'd be a sick cross
That would
section.
be interesting.
Because out of the 55, it's like, let's even say half aren't, but they still show the same like positive sentiment. That could be a really interesting tidbit. Sick. Great question.
Yes, thank you to whoever.
Yeah.
said that.
So Noemi, what brings you to the task force? So just to give you a heads up, we just wrapped up talking about 2 events that will hopefully be happening in our neighborhood. 420 and one in May, TBD on the exact date. We talked about a survey, kind of gauging cannabis sentiment, legal and unauthorized in our neighborhood. Got some results of that, and Ariel will be presenting it in March at the general board meeting. And that's where you found us. What brings you to our task force today?
Hi, I just wanted to join. I actually just wanted to sit and listen in
Cool.
person. I
Cool.
usually log in and I'm
All
on
right.
YouTube, so I said, why not show up?
Well, thanks for coming down. It's usually a very short meeting. We all have families and other things to get to, so usually it goes between 30 and 45 minutes.
Mhm.
It actually caught us at the end of our agenda, unless there's any other questions for Ramon here for anything. So really, that's really about it. Solid 30 minutes here. Sorry, yeah, to come down. They usually go like this even when we have to review a business, so we keep it moving on this one. But any other last remaining thoughts or anything before we adjourn? Shoot,
The guys from the last time, did
they got through. They passed 25-14, I believe, is what
Oh, okay.
the final vote was. Yep, yep.
I hope he will, come back and,
Well, he said he would come back, so we'll
What's the
see.
name of that dispensary?
The business is called Excite Unlimited, but I'm not sure what the
Excite
name of the
Unlimited.
company is.
And they're
gonna
going into the cigar place.
be. They're going next to the cigar.
Yeah.
place. Yeah.
Well, I think
Yeah.
Wagyu Pizza used to be.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
one.
Uptown
I walked by there the other day.
They're
I mean,
going
it's a
to-
great
Are they
location.
going in the cigar?
It's
Are they
location.
grandfathered in for consumption or something?
No, they're not
Okay,
doing
I just wanted
consumption.
to
No,
know.
no consumption, but they will have
I
delivery.
mean, there's no licenses yet, but I just
Yeah.
thought maybe that was the play there.
They'll have delivery, and also, walk-in service, yeah.
We're
Dude.
also gonna start delivery soon.
I was just
Heyo.
gonna
So,
ask
Oh, wow, please.
in the next 2 weeks, we'll be ready to go.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Very good.
We're gonna start off small, we're gonna start off.
Obligatory questions for you now, though.
Radius,
Where you parking your bikes?
we on foot for the first maybe like month or two.
Okay, so keep
If
it
we're
like
doing 10
contained.
blocks, we're doing like 10 blocks.
Oh, that's so smart.
And then from there, maybe we'll grow, maybe we won't, but we will keep it.
I love it. Work inside out. Very good.
Shout out
Cool.
to Happy Monkeys. Shout out to CB12, man. I like to see everybody
Hey.
moving in the right direction, man.
San Andreas is the other business owner for Excite Unlimited that passed last month.
Oh,
And so, yeah, he'll be
nice.
opening up on the location we were just talking
Yeah.
about. Very good. Well, unless there's any other business in front of the board, we can wrap this.
Nope.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
second.
Just flip it. You did first, she does second.
So,
Okay. Hector, all right, man, I'll put you on the Zoom here. Very good. Oh, did someone already put you in? Carmen, oh, there you are. Okay, cool. Zoom. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great next month here. I'll see you at the general.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.